I don't know about you, but I love me a great before and after transformation. So I'm about to show you how I take this room that looks very dated and drab to something a little more modern and something that I can be really proud of. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Cher and we are going to embark on a little adventure together. I'm going to bring you along on this little project I'm about to tackle. I'm going to be redoing this living space by just simply changing the paint on the walls, and I think this is going to just make this space hopefully it's going to breathe some fresh air and life into this space. I'm so tired of this builder ugly paint that's been on the walls since this place was originally put here. I think that this color is probably very common in a lot of builds that are a little bit older. I don't know, but I'm done with it. I'm over it, and I want something a lot more modern looking, a little lighter and just airier. So let me show you some of the color selections I had to kind of choose from and why I kind of am going with the color that I've chosen for the walls. So let me show you. So before we get into the different colors, I do want to just mention a couple of things. There are many things in this room that will not be changing, and this wall right here is one of them. And the reason behind that is because this entertainment center is very old. It's been taken apart and put back together again many times. It's just made out of particle board, and the last time I put this piece back together again, I knew it would be the last time I'd be able to do that. It's very fragile. I am not touching this thing, I'm not moving it. But luckily, I actually don't mind the color that this wall is. It is actually kind of a feature wall. It's more of a sagey kind of green, and I think it works well. I think it kind of is going to make a great backdrop and be a great kind of focal point for the room. So other things that aren't going to be changing in this room obviously are also the flooring. The carpet's staying, and it's just this kind of dark medium brown beige colored carpet. The furnishing in here is not going to be changing obviously either. So I knew that the color that I was going to choose had to kind of coordinate with everything and had to be something that would go well with everything that I've got going on here. Also, the trim color is an off-white. It's not white, it's kind of an ivory off-white color. Again, not changing the trim color either. So here are my choices, and I'm going to kind of walk you through them here. I did a lot of research, you guys, and which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video, because I thought maybe it might save you a little bit of time and frustration and help you choose the right color, especially if you're working with a room like mine where you've got a lot of different colors kind of going on, and you want to pick a color that's going to complement and be good for just about anything you've got going on. And from the research I did, beige is going to be your best friend. Now, beige is a color that can kind of go from one extreme to the other. It can lean more beige or it can lean more gray. So they both contain a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray, obviously to different degrees. And I just have done a little bit of research, and I went and picked out some of the most popular ones that, you know, are very trendy, that are tried and true. Everyone loves them. They look great with just about anything. So this is what I've got. And I would recommend that you try to narrow down your search, because if you just go to the paint store, you're going to be overwhelmed, and you will probably come home with things that, you know, might have different undertones that aren't going to work well with what you've already got going on in your home. Now, these paint chips are all from the brand Sherwin-Williams. I had never painted with Sherwin-Williams paint before, but I did recently do a couple of bathrooms in my home with the one that's called Sea Salt. I absolutely loved the paint. It went on so well, and it only required 2 coats of paint. Maybe it was a little bit more pricey than some of the other brands out there, but it was so awesome to work with. And for me, if I only have to do 2 coats of paint, that's a win-win for me all around. So these are the shades that I kind of have gone back and forth with. I've got the Worldly Gray, I've got Agreeable Gray, Pediment, I've got Gossamer Veil, Mindful Gray, Anew Gray, and Repose Gray. Now, right off the bat, once I got these home and put it against a white backdrop, I could definitely see, you know, some of the grays and some of the browns coming through. Now, I wanted something that was going to make this room still feel warm and inviting. I knew I didn't want anything too light on the walls, but I also didn't want anything too dark with the walls. And I needed it to also kind of go well with my feature wall that I'm not changing. So right off the bat, I could pick these, take them right out of the equation, because they were just too dark. And this one was too dark and also too gray. And I could see that this one also was just too gray, which kind of left me with these three. Now you're probably thinking, well, they are all very similar. But when you start looking at different lighting situations in your home, which way, you know, whether you've got a north facing room or a south facing room, do you have a lot of natural light from windows coming in? Do you have, you know, other darker colored furnitures maybe also, you know, playing a part in, you know, what your color is going to look like? So once you start taking those things into consideration, you can kind of start just, you know, weeding some of these other ones out as well. I kind of liked these two here. They're very similar, and I kind of just got rid of this one as well. And then that left me with these two. This one's got a little bit more of a gray tone. This one's got a little bit more of a beige kind of brown tone to it. And so also the things that you want to take into consideration is this LRV number right here. This one's got a LRV of a 60, and this one's got an LRV of a 57. So this one's going to look a little bit darker on the walls because it's not reflecting quite as much light. So what I decided is exactly what I've gotten written down here. We're actually going to be having our whole entire upstairs repainted, but we're going to be actually hiring someone to do the upstairs. We've got really high ceilings, and it's just a way too big of a job for me to tackle. So this is the color we're going to actually go with upstairs because it's a lot bigger and more open and airy up there. Plus we've got hardwood, dark hardwood floors up there, no carpeting. So that's the color we're going to go with upstairs. And this one here, this worldly gray, this is the one I chose for down here because it's got a little bit more of a brown tone to it, and I think it's gonna just kind of be a little bit more warmer, a little bit darker, and I'm hoping that we're gonna love it. So I'm gonna just start preparing the room here, and we're gonna get things ready to start painting. So whenever you're starting a painting project, the prep work is always the most time-consuming and tedious and probably not so much fun part of the whole project. The painting part actually is the part I love. Of course, it's, you know, instant gratification, but it's this part that, I really hate this part. But as you can see, I've got some of the furniture moved out of the way. I've taken all the pictures and everything down. I've filled the holes where I did have the mirror and my picture because I actually I'm wanting to actually change the positions of those. So this is a perfect time for me just to fill those holes, and then I can put the things where I really want them. I've taken off the receptacle covers on the switch plate and down here on the little plug here, and this is the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding with my little sanding block here. I'm gonna sand these little areas so they're nice and smooth and flush. Then I'm going to wash the walls, and that is a very important step. You want to make sure you get all the dust and cobwebs and anything, you know, any dirt or grime that you've got going on. Get all that stuff off. It's going to just make your painting look so much more professional if you don't have any little, you know, dust bits and stuff in your paint. And then the last step is to tape everything off with some green painter's tape. I'm going to make sure that I get a nice crisp line on all of my trim and that's all protected and everything. I am going to have to go in with a really tiny little brush along the top. I don't bother taping the ceiling because I do have popcorn ceiling and the paint isn't going to stick very well and it's going to seep underneath the paint anyway. So I do take great care and a lot of time and a really steady hand with a little brush, and I just go along the top to cut that in. But I'm going to go ahead and get this all prepped, and then we'll be ready to start rolling on this first wall, and I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. All right, so I have a little painting update, and as you can see, the wall is not done. The room is not done because I cannot decide on a color. And holy cow, you guys, I actually debated on whether or not I was even going to document this or even going to upload this video. But you know what? I want to because I'm sure I'm not the only one that has struggled with picking a color and trying to find the right feel and the right, you know, just I want to set the right mood down here. And I don't want to waste my time and having to redo this again at a later date. So I just wanted to get this right. So the first color I tried down here on the bottom was that Worldly Gray by Sherwin-Williams, and it looked so cold and almost blue in here, and I just absolutely hated it. And I was so mad at myself because I actually mixed up a whole gallon. Please do not make the same mistakes I did and just think, okay, here's the paint chip, love it, I'm gonna go get a whole gallon mixed up. Don't do that because it's such a waste of money when you make a mistake. I would very much advise you to either get those little tester pots, paint them on your wall, or paint them on a piece of white, you know, cardstock or something, and try them out. Or, you know, you can get the peel and stick samples now too. They're fairly reasonable, but you know what? It's so worth it in the end. But, you know, anyhow, so I did go get a few other samples and I just have been unsuccessful in trying to find a color. So long story short, I actually enlisted the help from a professional colorist from Benjamin Moore, and she came over last night and advised me on which direction I wanted. You know, I told her kind of the feel I was going for. We picked a color. I actually just went and got some mixed up, a quart of it, so that I can paint this whole wall. That's what she kind of advised me to do, see what I think about it, and then I can get some more mixed up for the rest of the room. But the color I'm going with now is Bleeker Beige. As you can see, these ones here, anything that had a grayish to it just looks so cold and so dark. Then I kind of changed gears and was trying to go with a cream, which kind of looks peach on my wall. Didn't want that look either. So let's hope that color number 4 is the lucky number, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this onto the wall, and we'll see what it ends up looking like. Hopefully this is the one. I just want to get this project done. I really wanted to get this done last week, but here we are a week later, so wish me luck. So the first coat is now on the walls, and I am really, really liking this color. Finally, number 5 is the charm. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I don't know if you can see here, the lighting in here isn't great, but that is kind of the color of the other walls. It was very, you know, orangey, yellowy. This is much calmer and more serene, but it's still got some color, you know, like there's white on the ceiling. It's definitely got some color to it. And as the sun's kind of going around this afternoon, I'm finding that it is changing color. Sometimes it looks more gray a little bit. Sometimes it looks more brown. Anyway, I'm excited to get the rest of these walls painted. I just went ahead and I ordered 2 more gallons because I'm also going to be doing a hallway as well. So that one little quart can that I got just did 1 coat on this one wall. So yeah, I'm definitely going to need quite a bit more paint. So yeah, I'm off back to the paint store to grab a couple more gallons. And yeah, I've got lots more work to do yet. So I will show you the big reveal when I'm all finished. So here's one last look of our room before. Just to remind everybody what everything looked like before we did all of our hard work. I can't wait to see what this is all going to end up looking like. I think it's going to be amazing. And here is the after. Much lighter, creamier. Oh, just so much more inviting, but still warm. And you can see the difference here right where I stopped at the kitchen, because by this point I was just kind of overpainting, but I still have to do this little piece here in the kitchen along the upper cabinets just to kind of match everything. But it looks so much better, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this color that we picked out with the colorist here. I think she helped me make a really, really good decision. It just looks so creamy, and at different times of the day, especially in the evening as well, with the, you know, the nice soft lights, it just looks very still warm and cozy and inviting, and that's what I really, really wanted. It goes really well with my couch. It goes really well with the carpet, and the trim still pops really well. I didn't want to go anything too light because I wanted to be able to still see the trim. You'll notice that I did get a couple of new pieces. I was inspired to go and buy a few new things for this room. I got a new lamp, so I no longer have a green lampshade. I couldn't find just a lampshade to go with the lamp that I had, so I just went to HomeSense and I found this little lamp for like 30 bucks. This little round table here, I absolutely love. I picked this up on my local Facebook marketplace for 30 bucks. It does have a few little boo-boos on it here. Apparently the people that had it before, their dog liked to chew. So I'm actually just gonna go to Dollar Tree. I know I've seen, they're like little markers that you can use for like hardwood floors. They come in all different shades. So I'm just gonna go get some of those to find something that will kind of match closely to this wood finish, and I should be able to make this kind of disappear and look like new again. But I thought that was a great score. And because I had this adorable little round table, I was inspired to also purchase a round mirror here to go above my fireplace. And I just love how this turned out. I also picked this up at HomeSense. It was around $60, $70. I believe it's a 28-inch mirror. and I just love it. The black kind of border that it has, again, just sort of makes sense with a lot of the other dark elements that I have in this room. And I just think it looks so pretty. This whole area now is just so warm and inviting, and my daughter Megan and I love spending time down here, especially in the evening, you know, watching movies. My boyfriend comes down here now a lot more than he used to as well, and has been really enjoying the space with us too. So of course now we're really excited to get the upstairs painted. The lady that came again to help me with the color selection down here, she gave me some better suggestions upstairs as well. So I believe we have a painter lined up actually for this next weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that. So like I mentioned before, I was really contemplating whether I was going to even post this video because I just had so many trials and tribulations on trying to pick a color. I thought I knew what I was doing. Clearly I didn't. So hopefully maybe this has helped even one person. It will definitely be worth it. Get some help if you need some help, but also make sure you try some different samples, put them on your walls, because once you get them on the walls, they look so different than, you know, the little paint chips that you bring home. But don't just invest in a big gallon of paint right off the bat thinking you know what you're doing, because trust me, you will be so frustrated, you'll be wasting your money, and yeah. Anyway, in the end, I'm so happy with the result. I just love it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you plan on painting any rooms in your home, I'd love to hear what colors you're choosing and what's your favorite brand of paint. Until next time, I will catch you guys all again. Bye for now.